It is indeed an honor for me tonight to introduce the first Palestinian American ever elected to the United States House of Representatives, Congressman Justin Amash. He represents the 3rd District of the great state of Michigan. Younger Americans think of him as the congressman from Twitter. Congressman Amash was born in Grand Rapids, Michigan. His father, Atallah Amash, was a Palestinian refugee who came to the United States in 1956. That's 57 years ago. He worked hard to start his new life in America at the age of 16, then married a beautiful Syrian woman and raised 3 boys. Atallah Amash once said, quote, "I never had a chance to be educated. I thought if I give my children a chance to be educated, then no one could ever hurt them." In 2008, Justin Amash was elected to the Michigan State Legislature. 2 years later, at age of 30, he was elected to the U.S. House of Representatives. Amash was named one of Times Magazine's 40 Under 40 Rising Stars of U.S. Politics. I asked Senator Rand Paul of Kentucky about Justin Amash. He said, I quote, "There is likely no greater defender of civil liberties in the House of Representatives than Justin Amash. His voice is absolutely necessary to lead the fight for everyone's individual liberty." He's also called the coolest congressman that you've never heard of. But we have heard of him, and every day, more and more Americans see his leadership. On a personal note, he is quite sound on tax policy. The greatness of our country, America, what makes us unique, is that our immigrants and the sons and daughters of immigrants can achieve greatness. What makes Justin Amash unique is what he has done with this opportunity. It is only fitting that Congressman Justin Amash is this year's recipient of ATFP Award for Distinguished Public Service. Please help me welcoming and congratulating me, Congressman Justin Amash, for this award.
Thank you so much, Sama, and thank you, Grover, and thank you to the American Task Force on Palestine, and congratulations on your 10-year anniversary. I really believe in your mission, which is to promote peace in the Middle East and promote peace in Israel and Palestine. My dad is a Palestinian, born in Ramla, and he became, do we have some people from Ramla? In 1940. In 1948, he became a refugee, and his family moved to Ramallah, where he lived until 1956. And then he was sponsored by a church. They were a Christian family sponsored by a church and came to Muskegon, Michigan. And they came with absolutely nothing. You can actually see an article in the Muskegon Chronicle, the newspaper from that area, from when they arrived in 1956, very poor, with absolutely nothing. And he worked very hard. He was one of the only people in his family who spoke pretty good English. So he had to take care of a pretty large family. And he built up a business over many years in that area, selling door to door, eventually going from door to door to having a truck, then from a truck to a small building. And then one day he went back to, he met my mom's aunt here in the United States, and she said, "Hey, if you go back to the Middle East, why don't you stop by my family's place in Syria? My family lives in Damascus." And he said, "Okay." So he went to Damascus, and that's where he met my mom. And they came here, and I have 2 brothers. one thing I remember growing up was how much my dad would tell us that he was so happy to be here in the United States, where people have so much opportunity, where it doesn't matter what your last name is, what your religious background is, what your ethnicity is. Everyone here has an opportunity to succeed. And that's one of the reasons I got involved in politics, is that I wanted to carry on that dream, that American dream. And my dad has always hoped for peace in the Middle East, peace between Palestinians and Israelis. And it's an honor to be here today, to be given this award today. And I want to thank you and congratulate you on 10 years. So thank you.